Hello and welcome to the T-Mobile Arena for 5280 Sports Network. I am Matt Smith. Thank you for tuning in. Well, the second semifinal has just wrapped up, and the Pac-12 Tournament Championship for 2017 is all set up for tomorrow night. Arizona knocks off UCLA 86-75 tonight in a very hard-fought basketball game by this Arizona Wildcats team. It's the second game in a row that Arizona really proved to be the better team, both offensively and defensively. Last night against Colorado, they only led by one heading into halftime. Tonight, it was a 6-point lead at halftime, and it was a spectacular defensive effort, certainly in that first half. They held UCLA to 2 of 11 from 3 in the first half. This is a UCLA team who is dynamic, explosive offensively, and has been talked about as maybe one of the best offensive college basketball teams we've seen in a long time. And Arizona proved tonight that under Sean Miller, they are still every bit as good defensively. They showed it last night in the second half, but tonight it was a full 40 minutes, in my opinion, of defense. They shut down, for the most part, this three-headed monster that is the UCLA backcourt. Isaac Hamilton had a good night. He had 20 points. But outside of Isaac Hamilton, Lonzo Ball, who people are talking about as the top 3 pick in the NBA draft, certainly he's played extremely well this season, one of the best freshmen in the entire country. Lonzo tonight, 2 of 7 from the field, 1 of 6 from 3, 8 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, and he had 4 turnovers in the first half. Bryce Alford, who made first team All Pac-12 as well in his senior year, has had a fantastic season. 2 of 12 tonight, 1 of 10 from 3. He was hunting his shot for the better part of the night. And Aaron Holiday, who's probably the best 6th man in the country, goes 3 of 11 from the field tonight, and you have to credit the physicality of this Arizona defense. And it wasn't just Raleigh Alkins, it wasn't just Kadeem Allen, it wasn't just Parker Jackson Cartwright even to an effect, but what Alonzo Trier did a great job on Lonzo Ball as well. What impresses me right now about the way Arizona is playing is they have an edge and a grit to them right now that I had not seen out of them this season, which led me to believe, and I said this on the radio a few days ago, that I felt like heading into this tournament, Arizona was the team in the Pac-12 with the most to prove, and they've certainly done that over the first 2 days. They look like the best team in the Pac-12, in my opinion. Oregon, of course, advancing to the finals as well. We'll get to Oregon in just a minute. Oregon looked okay today, not great by any stretch in their win over Cal. But getting back to tonight's game, certainly a premier matchup, a number 2, number 3. This is an Arizona team that lost to UCLA about a week and a half ago at home at the McHale Center. And Sean Miller afterwards tonight said something very interesting, and it was brought up to him by a member of the media that he exclaimed really loudly with about a second left to go in the game, screamed, made a fist. Very, very emotional win for Arizona. And Sean Miller said something, and Sean Miller's an outstanding coach. He says all the right things. The guy's got a great perspective on the game of basketball, and he gets his guys to play hard for him year in and year out. I have a tremendous amount of respect for that man, who also is the coach of the year this season in the Pac-12. He said, Kadeem Allen, we didn't send him off the right way on senior night. Tonight was about Kadeem Allen. We owed him one. It's a very strange dynamic that this Arizona team has between itself, but it's working for them. Alonzo Trier, who missed the better part of the season with a PED suspension, once that was out of his system, was able to rejoin action, has now played about 10 plus games now, and has really begun to play some good basketball. In fact, Sean Miller in the postgame press conference tonight saying that he feels like Alonzo's playing his best basketball he's played at the University of Arizona. And then, of course, the outstanding stud freshman. It's taken me a while to get to him, but it's almost a save the best for last type of situation. Lauri Markkanen was incredible tonight. 29 points, 6 rebounds. But he wasn't just offensively he was making plays. Defensively, he had a couple key blocks. Rebounding, he was huge tonight. And he provides an extra interior presence that this Wildcats team has great depth in their front court with Ristich, Comanche, Pinder. But what Markkanen can give you in spreading the floor, and we saw UCLA's lack of ability to play solid defense tonight really come back and bite them. Markkanen's ability to spread the floor really makes this Arizona team all sorts of different. They're so much better because if Trier's playing well and Allen's playing well, you've got Cartwright, Simmons off the bench. There's a lot of playmakers on this Arizona team. But if you can have Markkanen be the best player on the floor, which he certainly was tonight, and spread the floor like he does, knocking down open shots. That's the most important part, because Trier, Allen, Alkins, all those guys get into the lane. And tonight we saw Arizona really try and get out and push the ball against a UCLA team that A, doesn't play much defense, and B, does not play transition defense because they want to get the ball out and run themselves. But we saw Arizona attack this team tonight. And we see an edge to Arizona now, and we'll see moving forward if that doesn't benefit them. Certainly tomorrow night, which is a big game for Arizona. They got absolutely mopped off the floor in their one meeting with Oregon earlier this season, back on February 4th. In fact, afterwards, actually, in the game, in the postgame press conference, rather, Sean Miller was talking about he wasn't sure if he'd ever seen an offensive performance like Oregon put on against them when they went to Eugene. Oregon in the first half in Eugene was 10 of 14 from three, finished 16 of 25, shot over 65% from the field, over 60% from the three-point line, won 85 to 58. It was 38 to 18 at half. If you watch that game, Oregon absolutely buried them from the jump. This is a team that's going to want to go get the Ducks back, certainly tomorrow night. If I had to pick a favorite, I don't know how you go against Arizona. They held an outstanding, probably the best offensive team in the country, to 4 of 25 from three. UCLA couldn't throw it in the ocean from three, which was really what prevented them from getting back into this game, including not being able to get stops down the stretch. This was a good learning experience for UCLA, who needed, I think, a loss. I think they'd won something like 15 straight, who needed a loss heading into the NCAA tournament, get humbled a little bit, get back to the drawing board, and I certainly think that happened for them tonight. Steve Alford will have those guys ready to go next week when things kick off with the NCAA tournament. But to wrap up day 3 here of the Pac-12 tournament, Oregon and Arizona, the two teams that split the regular season Pac-12 championship as co-champions, will get to duel it out for better seeding in the NCAA tournament, and certainly for pride, especially for the Arizona Wildcats, who to me look pretty tough to beat right now. That is it from day 3 of the Pac-12 tournament. We really appreciate you tuning in here on 5280 Sports Network. My name is Matt Smith. Go online to 5280sportsnetwork.com and follow our family of podcasts as well as all of our exclusive coverage. You can follow me on Twitter as well. That's Real Matt Smith, Matt with 1 T, and at 5280 Sportsnet on Twitter for you as well. Thanks for joining us. Until next time, I'm Matt Smith.